Hey there, and welcome back to Factorio Tightening the Belt Megabase Guide. I'm Xterminator, and thank you for joining me. We are back in the base here, getting some supplies, and what we're going to do today is we're going to work on connecting up some belts, working with some spaghetti down in the Megabase area. So I streamed on Wednesday and got a fair bit done, but I want to finish that particular part up today and kind of show you guys what's going on down there. So we have, I upgraded our lube production a bit here because we were actually bottlenecked on our blue belt production due to a lube shortage. So I went ahead and did that. And I've also launched a couple more rockets to kind of burn through some materials that were actually stopping us from making more lube, like we were backed up on solid fuel and plastic and such. But now this thing is cranking along at a awesome speed. I'm going to take literally everything I can carry because there's some in the train too. But we need all the belt. We need a ton of belt, guys. So we're going to go head over to the train and ride over there. And once we get there, I want to show you, we also have a steel build done as well as a red circuit build. When I say done, I mean blueprinted, or blueprints. We haven't placed them or anything yet. Red or blue circuits are a bottleneck due to red circuits? Okay. Oh, due to plastic. Yeah, because our plastic had kind of died because I changed over this to normal oil processing to get us more heavy, to make more lube. But I've changed it back now, so we should be catching up on that. And blue circuits being a bottleneck is bad because that is fairly severely limiting our module production. You can see here these are barely working because there are no blue circuits. So this is actually a bit of a problem. We only have 694 here, which isn't that much. So let's go ahead and head over to supply drop. We may actually at some point have to change this thing over to speed modules, but we'll see. This guy's also short on plastic, which I kind of fixed. Not all these were running because they were out of coal, but it's still not going fully yet. There's some modifications that need to be made, of course. But yeah, we're going to be laying down some spaghetti belts. Maybe not too spaghetti-ish, but some for sure, due to how I decided to route this, which, you know, sometimes I just make silly decisions after I've done something and I don't want to tear it up. But actually, in the end, I think this is probably one of the best ways I could think of to do it. And I mean, you know, there's something to be said for really organized bases and such that, you know, I mean, they're great. But I think there's also something to be said for like huge spaghetti bases as well. I brought a ton of landfill here because we were landfilling water. I'm just going to put that there. I'm just going to take like literally all the belts. We need a ton of belts for this, guys. So we can look at the map here, and this is what we've done so far. So smelters are almost done. There's one up here that, when I say smelters, I mean all the copper for the base and circuits, and then just the iron for the circuits. Iron is this little thing here. This is a C I marked with pipe, meaning this is the last copper. So this smelter and down is iron, and that's just for circuits. This is not any iron needed for the base, like the rest of production, which is kind of ridiculous. So this is going to stretch way farther down. But this is what we've run so far, and these are all the circuit builds. We have 16 of these. Each one outputs 2 belts of circuits. We're going to have 32 belts of circuits. We technically need like 30.9, which would be like 31. So if I did 15, it would be not enough, right? Because that'd be 30. So it's always better to overbuild. I don't think I actually have any beacons. We do have some belt parts here we can place, though. I don't have any beacons on me. We have them in the train. I mean, this isn't that important. We finish this right this minute. So I want to show you the other builds here really quick. We have the steel build, which is absurd. It's ridiculously long, and it does output a full blue belt of steel. It uses direct insertion, meaning it makes ore into plate and then turns the plate into steel within the same build. So I'm running down here because we're going to put it after the iron. Not right here, because remember, we do need to add more iron. But this is where the steel build is going to go on the very end, I think. And I've already used commands in this game for like revealing some parts of the map and stuff. So I'm going to player.zoom equals 0.1. There we go. So even zoomed out this far, I can't see it. This is how long this is, guys. This is ridiculous. So, you know, if we do this here, this is this is just nuts. I think like the smelters plus the circuits plus the red circuits still won't be as long as this. I mean this is steel. This is what you do when you try to output a full blue belt of steel. And then red circuits are quite long as well. Not quite as much. Let's go ahead and do this and bump it up a little bit. So here we go. Here's red circuits. It's pretty long, but this does output, again, a full blue belt of red circuits. We'll zoom in here. So actually, it's probably better to just look, as I fill my inventory with stone. Let's just look here. So we have these red circuit machines. It's really kind of difficult to see this however we look at it. So we have, I wish you could like turn off the belt undergrounds because it makes it very difficult to see things. But we have the red circuits there, and the copper is made and then put on belts, which is sent to some of the red circuits. I think it's like a 1:6 or 1:8 ratio with modules. We can look at it more fully when we actually place it. There's a ton of crazy belt stuff that goes on in here, but that will output a full blue belt of red circuits, which is fantastic. And yeah, so now what we need to work on is routing all this stuff. So what I've done so far is routed about half of the iron. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 smelters routed, which would be 14 belts. We need 30 belts of iron and 30 belts of copper, so almost half the iron. And then this one, yeah. So why I say spaghetti is because the copper needs to come in under here where I put these undergrounds. And then like some irons probably gonna need to underground stuff as well. Okay, this is gonna drive me nuts, man. Oh my goodness, can I like not? It's just so annoying. So what we'll have to do is do this and then turn it. So this is where the copper is gonna go. So these actually don't go right here. You need to go from the other smelter. I misplaced some belts, which is why some of this is a little funky. So these are gonna come from here. And I mean, like, I could use bots, but I mean, really, I'm pretty sure this is actually faster. You know, aside from when I miss the same spot like 5 times. All right, so you're gonna go there, there, whoop. Okay, so that one runs up, comes up, there's that iron. So I wanna do like all the iron first because mixing and matching is gonna be, like trying to do them like simultaneously is gonna be kind of difficult. So what we have to do now though is, remember, a blue belt can only underground 9 tiles. So we've reached our max-ish. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's not the full 9, but the problem is it would leave, I mean, we could do 9. We could do 9, but then it would be a little bit weird looking because what would happen is this can only, oh no, this is actually 9. I must have miscounted or something. So that's a max, right? Now, of course, you know, some of it's kind of wasted because as these turn, there's less and less of them, but that's kind of how we have to work this. So what we need to do now is make sure we have enough room. So these are going to go like that. And again, I'll have to turn all these, but I mean, I don't actually have to do that right this second. What I can do, just know that's going to be there. So now we do all these. I'm just running these here because I know that's, I mean, they're not all going to come from right here, but so this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These do underground 9, right? Yeah. Maybe that counts like the one they place on. It's kind of interesting that it's not enough. Okay, well, game, you're gonna really annoy me. Okay, so like, yeah, that should be good, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It says 9, but that's fine. Multiples of 2 multiples of 2 are best anyway because you know, we need 2 to each build, so it's just going to be a lot prettier when we do that. So these, again, this is copper. These undergrounds are copper, so this is why I'm still like running them like all the way through here. I mean, there's other ways we could do this for sure. Like we could probably scoot this more left and then have the copper lines come like the opposite direction down, like in between them, and then turn over. There's really all different kinds of ways we could do this. I'm just kind of doing it this way because it makes more sense in my head. You know, so what with this series, what I'm trying to demonstrate to you is general principles and just showing you, because a lot of times, you know, a lot of times something doesn't click until you just see someone else do something similar and then you get it. So in terms of building a Megabase and transitioning to it, I'm just trying to show you. Oh yikes, that's not good. This is where the copper needs to go. I'm trying to show you just like general principles of you know, like how to do things. You don't have to do them exactly like this, but hopefully it kind of gives you an idea. So actually, hold up here, hold on. Things are, so this is copper, this one's iron. So these two iron, this is the last iron, which means these two need to go to the very top. I think we need to actually do this a little bit differently. Trying to think here for a second how, because I could turn these like soon, like I could turn these like here, and then we'd have to underground all these copper belts, or I could run it all the way this way, but then we'd still have to underground all the copper belts underneath this, which is like pretty much the same thing. I kind of want all the iron running next to each other. Okay, well, so yeah, this is where it gets complicated. This is where things get a little bit complicated, guys. All right, so go ahead and do this. Because we know that, so this one is gonna go to here. That one is gonna go to here. This next one is gonna come from there. I'm just trying to figure out this spacing here a bit. These we know, I think, are gonna come from one of the others. So we could probably go ahead and hook these up. And that may actually still be the one that's hitting the copper, which is a bit annoying because I really did not want to do zigzag belt, like weird curvy belts. And again, this is wrong. See, this is what I did last time, and this is why there were some wonky belts, because I had to clean this all up because I goofed. That's what happens when you're on autopilot. Okay, no, these two are fine. It's the other one problem. So these undergrounds probably don't need to be that big. We'll see. Okay. And plus, there's something satisfying to me about like laying these belts and hearing the sound when I do it compared to having the bots do it. Okay, so that goes there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. Let's just double count our smelters here, make sure I didn't screw up. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. Okay, so with that in mind, yeah, I really don't. This would still be ideal to go this way. This is really frustrating. Okay, well, maybe we should just leave that as is for now and just skip one. Actually, is all this going to line up on one of these undergrounds? No. In fact, are these like perfect enough to where they literally just go in here? Oh, okay, so that's interesting. Because that means... Okay, so these would be these two. These would be these two. So let's go ahead and tear this up. So this one is going to be that one. And, or no, sorry, backwards. This one's going to be that one. This one is there. And then that one's there, right? Yeah, because then there's one more, which is the next one, and then that's those two. So that's where these two go. And then this... Yeah, this one's a little bit silly. So that's the top, or no, that's the bottom. Okay. Let's go ahead and run this over, because this one doesn't interfere. And I really wanted to avoid doing this, man. This is actually not really that good. Yeah, because now that these are like all like interwoven here, so either way, we're gonna have to do some weird stuff getting the copper over here. This is proving to be I was hoping it would all go that smoothly, but you know, can't have everything work out like that. I mean, I can do belt weaving. Like, well, no, I can't because I need this to be blue. I can't even do red because if I do red, it's just gonna kill the throughput and ruin everything. So let's see. What are our other options? Well, our other options would be to not do that or this. Dang it. Literally just do that. If we did like, it's still gonna have that problem, but the only way to avoid this problem is have these belts actually turn like way beforehand. Right? So like if the coppers come down, and actually, so let's think for a second. So for copper, see, this is why we kind of need to like do these, maybe almost switching back and forth. So this copper, so the bottom copper needs to go to the bottom thing. So this copper line needs to go to the bottom circuit one. And then this next copper line needs to go to the next one. So this top one needs to go to that top one. Okay, well let's run some of these copper lines. So this particular copper line needs to go to the very bottom, which is the one we're having problems with. So how about let's do this. Let's but then because we still have more of these to run too. I just need to make sure I leave room for all this to go. Okay, so these can turn like way up here. That's fine. These, because we need a lot of routing like this. Just for these, we need we need 6 belts of copper here, and then we're gonna need more over there, like more here, right? So trying to at least make this like somewhat even, equidistant, symmetrical, kind of. Let's do that. And we can turn this one sooner too, like we don't even need. I really wanted the iron to all be next to each other and then the copper to all be next to each other, but with how this works, that's not really going to be possible. So the other option is to actually, yeah, I think it's going to be better. Tear this all up. And I mean, this is part of it, guys. This is part of the process. You know, if you're building a Megabase, especially a belt Megabase, you're going to be doing quite a bit of this unless you somehow meticulously planned everything down to the T to where you don't make a single mistake. And if you do that, man, kudos to you. So, because what I'm thinking is, okay. I'm starting to formulate how this is going to work in my head, and it just takes a little bit of translation to get it to actually work here on the map. So this is the lowest copper, right? And we need, let's finish running these. That would be in the wrong spot, you Dumbo. That is the correct spot. Oh goodness. All right. And again, I'm doing this just to make it kind of look the same-ish. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and do this guy, and that guy. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out, like, where all these copper belts going to need to go is kind of what I'm trying to do right now. Okay. So we've got that. One more here. And I know it's kind of silly to skip that, but again, like, that's what I'm saying is I'm just trying to make it kind of look the same here. You know, because that way you can run down and these undergrounds are all in the same place. Okay, so we've got that. And then this one comes like, actually don't even know where that one came from. See, now my head hurts. Because where is, so this is iron. So this iron's gonna go all the way up. This one was like, this was the one we were working on. This one, it comes from down there. So this one's gonna be way over here. Because what I'm thinking at this point, dang it. Because that was like, is that half? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's exactly half. Okay, so that's gonna go there. So if we need, oh dear, this is gonna be fun. Let's see. This guy's gonna need underground somewhere because, yikes. So we have 16 belts of copper coming in. 16 belts. Okay, I can kind of start to formulate this a little bit. So one of them, go here. This one's gonna go here. This one's gonna go here. 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 And you may be asking yourself, why on earth am I having copper made at the top when it needs to go on the bottom belts instead of making iron at the top and copper at the bottom? And the answer to that is, number one, that it doesn't really matter, because even if we had iron made at the top, we would still have to do underground spaghetti and stuff, because, I mean, just how this all lines up, like, there's no way everything would just move smoothly here, you know? We'd still be encountering generally the same problems, just maybe a little bit different. And then also, it would require me to build more smelters, which I don't have the materials for right now, because if all these were iron, that means that, like, from here to down here would be all the iron for the whole base, and then we would need copper as well, which would require more smelters. Like, the way I've worked this now, I built all the copper for the whole base, including circuits, and then just the iron for the circuits, okay? So that's why I kind of did it that way, because it allows us to just hook up the circuits right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so then this comes down, so, boom. Okay, so then these are gonna come over, and I think I'm gonna want to leave room. I don't know if I need undergrounds there or not, but I'm gonna leave room to have them. Actually, don't think I do need undergrounds. Why would I need undergrounds? Do I need undergrounds? I don't think I do. Because iron, so these are going to come from above. No, I do. Because these irons will need to underground. Even if nothing down here needs to underground, these particular irons will need to underground, and any above them will need to underground through it as well. So I'm kind of starting to understand what the heck I'm doing here. Right, so he's going to go in here. Whoop, it's not quite what we wanted. Guy's going to come in here. You can see why I need so much belt. This is a little bit ridiculous. So that's 2, 4, so here's 6. Dang it. Oh my gosh. This may actually end up looking kind of cool. I'm not sure. So there's 7 and 8. Just to double check before I continue laying this potentially all wrong. Okay. I mean, like, I know in my head, but it's like, you know, I could have made a counting mistake or something, and then I go ahead and lay all of it, and I realize I messed up. Okay, so here, whoop, Oh, no. See, this is, I'm so used to like having them run right next to each other. And here we go. Okay, so we've got that. And so now we know these two copper lines are going to come from which one's a copper smelter? This one. So this copper smelter here needs to tie into these end lines here. Let's go away. Go away, rock. We don't need you. Okay, so these come over. Almost perfect. Like this. So now I can kind of figure out like where the heck all my iron and stuff is going. Boom. Okay, and then these next ones. Gonna come over, and this is what I mean, this iron is gonna... So where we're gonna have some spaghetti going on, guys. It's gonna get a little bit precarious. A little bit. Hey, that one was perfect. Nice. Like so. Yeah, I'm not really sure how we're gonna get the iron in here, but I'm sure we'll figure out some way to do it. Yeah, this could be interesting. Okay, well, let's just run. We know these all need to come up at least this far. Oh, getting a little excited here with where we're placing these. I think I probably need to end this episode, but I really want to get these last four connected so I can just visualize better in my head where everything is going. Okay. Oh, that actually did need to be there. And that goes this way. And then lastly, I'm actually surprised we've had enough belt to make it this long. Lastly, we're going to come down here and do that. I mean, we could use bots, I suppose. That's actually pretty cool to watch too, I gotta admit. Okay, so there's all that. And then those are gonna come from the rest. And then we somehow need to figure out how to get the iron through. The best way I see is just kind of undergrounding here. And then this line of iron can underground here and come from down here. And that should work. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a little bit spaghetti, but I think it may not actually look that bad. We'll see. So there you go, guys. You know, I don't know if you enjoyed the belt laying or not. That's kind of part of it. I just wanted to show you, you know, what's going on here instead of just, you know, one episode, the builds are partway done, and then the next episode, boom, everything's connected, and you didn't even get to see how. So that's kind of what's going on here. The steel build and red circuit build are pretty awesome, and glad to have those ready to be placed. And we'll just keep building up materials and continuing on. I think the red circuits are probably going to go over here somewhere. Like I said, the steel will go underneath the iron, is how I'm envisioning this. But we'll see how things develop. Anyway, that's going to do it, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below as always. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.